Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about something that I don't recommend, but I'm going to tell you how you can do it and do it safely. And there's a lot of people that do this. Okay, there's a lot of people that live on $12,000 to $18,000 per year. It's not good living. It's not living the retirement dream, but it's living. You can do it here, and it's going to be like living below what you really want to live. Some people don't mind living like this. They're used to living maybe homeless or back in the United States. People on $12,000 to $18,000 today in the United States are probably homeless, or they're living in some sort of housing or getting some sort of government perks or whatever, welfare, food stamps, what have you, that type of thing. But anyway, what I want to talk about is how can you do this? A lot of guys have homes back in the States, and with those homes, they have a lot of equity, they have a lot of money, they have rentals or something like that, and they can sell those homes, and that'll give them something to fall back on if they come over here as far as sickness, illness, or whatever. But what I recommend for people is to buy some sort of insurance. At least buy 2 million pesos worth of insurance or more. Okay, I don't care what age you are, you should have insurance here. Things happen, and you don't want a disaster to happen over here. Okay, and here's the thing, that these guys that are out there talking about these low budget budgets, a lot of them are on Social Security. They worked under the table most of their lives. They just don't have a lot of money. They never thought about retirement coming. And when retirement came, it's like, wow, I really missed the boat. I should have saved. I shouldn't have been out drinking every night. I should have been working a second job or what have you. I should have been putting some money away, what have you. And they come over here and they're kind of surprised at the costs. Yes, you can get an $80 a month rental. Yes, you can get a $100 a month rental. Yes, you can get a $125 a month rental or $200 a month rental. Now, the lower ones, like where I live, we have nice places here. We're like an anomaly here. We don't live in a squatters area. I live. It's very quiet down here. It's very nice. It's a decent area. You can find these places here, but they're few and far between now. They're getting less and less and less in the Philippines. You're more likely to see 150 on up for a one-bedroom apartment now. In most areas, you're gonna, and in places like Dumaguete, you're gonna be paying probably $300 to $500 for an apartment, one-bedroom apartment over there. That's halfway decent. That's what you're gonna be paying. That's just the facts, you know. The other problem is food. Everybody, when they come here, they think, well, I can live off Filipino food. And a lot of guys can't. You need about $400 or $500 a month for food. That doesn't get you a lot over here. People think like, well, that's going to get me. It's just like shopping in the United States. When you're shopping for American goods over here, it's actually probably a little bit more expensive. A lot of people think that they can find things that they like at the supermarket here. They think it's like walking into a supermarket back in the States. It's not like that at all. It's nothing like that at all. It's totally the opposite, actually. You have to kind of go out and seek and find everything. Now, can you live on $12,000 per year? Yes, if you have backup money for illnesses, things like that, and you use public transportation, and you budget. You got to budget the hell out of that, you know, and you got to live by that budget. And that's the problem, is living on that budget. A lot of guys can't do it. $18,000 a year is more feasible than the $12,000 a year. Okay, now that doesn't leave you much money. It gives you $1,500 a month, but you get to go out and you get to maybe travel a little bit each year. Maybe save a little bit each money, because when you hit your 70s, your insurance is going to go higher. But I always recommend the $2,000 to $3,000 per month as the sweet spot budget, because these other budgets, man, it's so tight and it's almost impossible to live like that on those budgets. It's really, really tight. If you come over here on Social Security and you haven't got a nickel more than that per month and you have no savings, it's not worth coming here. You got to have an emergency fund. You got to have a startup fund. You got to have air conditioning. Yeah, that's another thing right there is your electric bill. Your electric bill over here is probably, if you don't put it on super high, I mean super low, like on, 23 or 22 or 21 Celsius, you put it on 27 or 26, you might save a little bit. If you shut it off when you go out, you're going to save a lot. But you're going to be paying $5,000 a month for your electric bill for a small apartment over here. That's what it's going to cost you. It's just part of living over here. That's another part of your budget. Wi-Fi. Let's face it. In today's world, you got to have Wi-Fi. A lot of guys say, well, I can live off the data or off my phone. And some guys can. Okay, but you can get cheap Wi-Fi over here for about 1,000 or 1,500 pesos if you shop around. And you can watch movies, you can stream movies, you can even do YouTube or what have you if you wanted to. That's another cost. Water is cheap. Water is really cheap over here. 500 pesos a month, if that, 600 pesos, somewhere around there. It's super, super cheap, and it's really not that costly. But the other thing is that you have to think about is the little incidentals, like you want to go out for coffee, or you want to go out for, or you need to go for a haircut. Those are the things that add up. A lot of guys want to go get a massage or something once in a while. They think about all this stuff that they want to do. And when you're living on those smaller budgets, you can't do it. Sometimes getting a haircut off your girlfriend might be the way to go. If she's good at giving haircuts, get a haircut off your girlfriend. You can save money. And massages, if your girlfriend will give you a massage, that's great too, But massages over here are fairly reasonable and cheap. And if you're living on that type of budget, you could probably budget in a few massages every month or what have you. And that's something I like to do. I like to get a massage every once in a while. I'm lucky because my girlfriend, she is a massage therapist, so she's really, really good at what she does. And she's also a physical therapist. She helps me with everything, all my problems with my back. If you have a girlfriend that's working, that's certainly going to help your budget. And if she's working and she's pulling in an extra $400, $500, $600 a month or something like that, that's surely going to help your budget, and it's going to help you. A lot of girls don't mind working. I myself like to have my girlfriend around the house with me just because I like to have some company during the day. Some guys don't like to have company 24/7. They like to have their girlfriend out working sometimes, and it gives them some peace and lets them go on the internet and talk to their friends or go meet with their buddies at the coffee shop or what have you. Remember, budgets like this are totally possible here, but you gotta have some reserve backup money. 30 to 50,000 at a minimum, I think, nowadays. Somebody, actually a friend of mine down south of here, he had colon cancer. He found out he had colon cancer, and I believe he spent it's going to cost him in total, he told me, about 40 to 50,000 US, maybe a little bit more in total, for him to get this colon cancer healed and everything. You have to remember, things like this happen, guys. You got to have some sort of insurance. Insurance can, depending on your age, could wipe out that $1,000 a month, because your insurance gets high once you hit 70. If you're 70, don't come over here. Don't come over here unless you're in the 2 to 3K range or more, because the insurance is going to be really costly for you. We have guys over here in their 80s, but some of them they're self-insured. They have the money to self-insure because they sold a big home before they left the States or whatever. If you're going to come over here, make sure you have the money to cover yourself for insurance. $1,500 is way better than that $1,000 budget. If it means you got to work a couple more years or something like that to get up to that $1,500 or $2,000, and remember, that cost is going to change over the years. With inflation, things are catching up over here. It's quickly catching up over here. Things are changing over here. House prices are changing. Rentals are changing. Areas are getting more westernized over here, I'll say. So things are getting costly in those areas. Is the Philippines changing that fast? Yes, in some areas, but there's still provincial areas you can go live in. You can live cheap, but you're not going to probably live the way you want to. A lot of Americans cannot get used to living provincial. It's a rough, tough life. And are some guys able to make that transition? Yes, but it's not easy and it's not fun. Keep that in mind. A lot of guys have this dream of palm trees and a beautiful woman and sitting on the beach over here with a pina colada in your hand. That's not life in the Philippines. Can it be? Yes, it can. If you got the right budget, you can go out to these resorts once in a while and have a little fun or something like that. You know, if you're up on the higher end of the budgets, yeah, you can live the dream life over here. But it's a lot of the resorts over here are Filipino resorts, and people think, well, once you say resort, you're sitting on the beach with a pina colada in your hand and stuff like that. Are there places like that? Yes, but you pay for them. They're extremely costly. They're much more than the Filipino resorts. The Filipino resorts, a lot of them aren't even fit for people to use. I mean, I went into a resort one time and you had to go to the bathroom in a hole. And I'm like, it says resort out there. This is not a resort. They're barbecuing on a barbecue. They don't have regular running water. You have to use a scoop. I'm like, no. When I see these places, the beaches were beautiful, but the place itself it's a Filipino resort. It's for low end. It's a low end resort for people that don't have a lot of money and they just want to go to the beach and have fun with their family, and they bring a lot of food with them or whatever. Remember, the term resort is used very loosely here. Go online. Even when you see the pictures, sometimes they're very deceiving. Look online, see how many stars, see what people write about the place. And usually, if you start seeing a bunch of bad remarks in their comments, then you know it's going to be a dump. But be careful, guys, coming over here on the lower budgets. I don't recommend lower budgets. I tell people 2 to 3K at a minimum. At least that gives you enough money that you can save for your 70s. Now, when I say budget, I'm saying budget for savings and stuff like that. So when I say 2 to 3K, some people say, well, Steve, that's a high amount. That's a huge amount. But it gives you money to save. It gives you money to save for when you're in your 70s and you're buying insurance over here and you're paying a huge amount for insurance. The costs go up precipitously once you get into your 70s and 80s. And it gets harder to find insurance. So you have to really stick with your insurance over here. And, you know, make sure you get a decent insurance policy that's going to cover you and pay the hospital directly too. And we you know, this isn't a commercial, but we use Michael Onstad. Michael, it's Onstad, and he sells Pacific Cross Insurance. If you need insurance, give him a message on Messenger. He's on Messenger. He's a great guy. He's a member of our group. He goes to our dinners and stuff like that. So give him a yell. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show. And remember, these low budgets are not for everybody. We recommend the 2 to 3K and then we call it the sweet spot budget. It's still a good budget. You can still save on it, but you really gotta budget your money. When I say budget, like some people think, well, I can just go out and spend my money and I'll have a hard time spending it. No, it means writing things down on a whiteboard, you know, one of those eraser boards, a dry eraser, and you mark everything down on there each month of what you figure your expenses are. And don't go over those expenses. And if you have anything left over, put it in a jar and save it for maybe going on a trip or something. Because a lot of times, sometimes your electric bill might be lower in the rainy season or what have you, because you're not using your air conditioner as much or whatever. You're using fans more. You know, budget, guys, and shut off your electricity. Do things to save money. Anything you can do to save money. Somebody invites you over for dinner, that helps you save money. You know, making your own coffee saves money rather than going to Starbucks or going to Dunkin' Donuts. All that saves money. Making your own food, making your own bread, growing your own food. A lot of guys here, they like to grow their own food. if that's your thing, do it. You know, you can grow tomatoes right on a small porch. You can grow beans. You can grow all kinds of stuff, chives. You can grow herbs or what have you. All that stuff you can grow. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show.